Hello, dear friend. You are watching the 2022 Astrology Horoscope for people who have their sun or rising sign in Scorpio. During this video, you will learn how all of those events here can affect you during 2022. We will focus on Venus being retrograde, which is how we begin the year. Then we'll talk about Mars, which is one of your rulers, and he will be retrograde during the last 2 months. So again, something pretty important to know about. We'll discuss the regular Mercury retrograde cycles, the ingression of the lunar nodes, which is very, very important because it triggers your sign directly. You will also learn about Jupiter and all of the interesting stuff happening with Jupiter, and there are quite a few. So this will give you an idea of where you can grow, how you can expand, and what can bring you more success during 2022. Plus, we'll also talk about Saturn and the outer planets. You will learn which of them are more important for you and in which cases you need to pay extra attention. So before we dive deeper into those events, I want to invite you to join MarStars membership, which is the brand new astrology and spiritual platform. You will have one live webinar each month with me, plus one Q&A session, access to all of my courses, including upcoming ones. So you can literally learn astrology and also have access to spiritual practices and many more things in the future. There is a free trial, so you can join us without any risk. So more about this at the end of the video, and of course check the link and sign up now. So let's get started now with Venus and the retrograde cycle at the beginning of the year. Basically, during January, Venus will be retrograde and it will trigger your third house, which means that you can be over emotional when it comes to communication with friends, with co-workers, with siblings, with neighbors, you name it. Generally, communication could be a little bit more complicated with more emotional reactions from your side or from the other person which is involved. And overall, you may need to change something about your plans, about traveling or communication or connection with other people. Also, your thinking process may work differently. You can be a little bit more retrospective and you can analyze the past. And this is something good, actually. You can find new ideas which you have kind of forgotten about. So it's like old new ideas in a way. Also, old friendships could be restarted, kind of like reunions of, for example, classmates or other people you haven't seen for a while. So fixing your social life, that's what you can focus on during January. Then at the end of the year, so the last 2 months, November, December, Mars is retrograde, and Mars will be very important in your case because first of all, this is your old ruler. Second of all, Mars will be retrograde in 8th house, and this is one of the home houses for Mars. So double importance here for this period. And you need to be more careful when it comes to risks that you are taking, when it comes to financial stuff, investments, all kinds of activities which can be also potentially injuring or dangerous. You need to be extra careful. There is a higher risk for some kind of bad financial decision or for doing something that can injure you. For example, I would highly recommend you to avoid some kind of risky sports, for example, or other activities which could bring some kind of injury. Also, this is a time when energetically you may feel like you need to clear the space around you, inside of you. So for some kind of energy work, especially if there is a physical component in it, this would be a great idea actually. But again, please be mindful with risks and with financial decisions. I don't think that this is a beneficial time for you to make huge steps ahead with something brand new, like investing on the stock market for the first time. Not a good idea. So slow down a little bit. Overall, your actions might be somehow challenged or restricted because Mars is also your ruler. So give yourself more time. Focus on fixing, improving things, working on your energy balance, and again, just being more mindful with decisions, especially with risks and finances. Next, we are going to talk about the lunar nodes. And again, that's like a huge deal for you because the North Node is moving to your 7th house and the South Node is in your 1st house in Scorpio. So that's basically valid for the whole year. After the 19th of January, the nodes are shifting to those positions and they will stay there until the end of the year and even after that. So with the North Node in 7th house, what you need to focus on and what can bring you success and growth is connections to other people, focusing on your partner or business partnerships or collaborations. That's how success can come into your life, through prioritizing the needs and the desires of other people. And of course, it's always about the balance. It doesn't mean that you should forget about yourself totally and completely. That's never healthy. But you should focus more on cooperating, focus more on being more diplomatic and being kinder and caring about the feelings and the desires of other people who are important in your life. And you should not rely totally on yourself. With the South Node in the 1st house, chances are that you won't be able to do everything on your own, especially if this is a pattern for you, especially if you like to, have the control and do things your own way and do them whenever you want and not really care about consequences or other people's opinions. Perhaps you need to reconsider that during 2022 and become more of a team player and connect more with others and negotiate and learn to be more diplomatic. So, I guess this is also about allowing yourself to depend in a positive way on another person. It doesn't mean giving back all the power, but it means more to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to connect to someone else. I guess that's like the whole point of this ingression. And there is also one especially interesting period during the middle of July, like the second half of July, the beginning of August. This is the time when Uranus will be in conjunction with the North Node in your 7th house. And this can bring you something quite surprising in the area of relationships. How surprising? That would depend on your chart. For some people, this could be a new relationship, which can start kind of like out of the blue, and it could be very exciting and surprising and uplifting. For other people, this could be something they haven't expected. It could be even a separation in some cases. So something drastic, something surprising, something big in the area of relationships. And I guess the universal principle is a new scenario, something new, whatever that may mean for you. So again, for some people, this may mean like going out and meeting and connecting with someone. For others, it could be like, saying no more, I will not tolerate this. Whatever it is, just focus on embracing the change and the shift. Next week, we will talk about Jupiter, the great benefactor and the planet which can also bring you growth and success. Jupiter is pretty active through the year. So between January and April, and then November, December, Jupiter is in Pisces in your 5th house. This is a very beneficial position. Jupiter will be trining your sign, so opportunities, expansion, positivity, growth, a new vision, you can expect all of this. Plus also Jupiter triggering your 5th house can bring you new love or more emotions, or it's generally a nice time for dating. It's a great time also to be more creative and to be productive with your creativity as well. For some people, this may mean having a new kid or just spending more time with your children or some kind of positive events which are happening to your children. And during the rest of the year, between May and October, Jupiter is shifting to your 6th house, which can bring you new opportunities which are work-related. A new business, a promotion, or just feeling like you are becoming better and better, and you are more valued and you are more appreciated in your work. Potentially, you may also focus more on your health and work on some improvements there. There is one possible challenge, which is not always the case, but sometimes it happens. Jupiter transiting 6th house can increase the appetite. So sometimes we need to be more careful with our diet. But very often we can also feel more inspired to make changes. So try to work with the positive side, like consciously create a change when it comes to your daily routines, when it comes to your health, your nutrition, and all of those stuff. Now, we're gonna talk about the amazing aspects that Jupiter is having during the year. So the first big one is during February. Jupiter in your 5th house will have a positive aspect with Uranus in your 7th house. And this, my friend, can be absolutely amazing for your love life. There could be a new relationship or some kind of positive event with a person you love dearly, or a nice thing that also affects your children, or maybe having a child with your partner, or just feeling more creative and also supported by your partner or someone else around you. So really great time. The next important aspect is during April. There will be a conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in your 5th house. Very beneficial time for creativity, for love, romance, children, having more fun, relaxing, enjoying yourself, enjoying life. So this is very, very positive. So hopefully you will find the best way to use this time, both for your personal life, but also for your creativity. And of course, if your work is something creative, then that means you can be extra productive in your work as well. And the last of those important aspects is happening around May. Jupiter in 5th house will have a positive aspect with Pluto in 3rd house. And this is also great for meeting new people, people who can inspire you, or having some kind of creative ideas, or learning something and then being creative about this as well. So it triggers both the mind and the heart. So if you can put those two together, you can achieve amazing things, which is, I guess, true for the most part of life. I mean, if you can help the mind and the heart to work together and to cooperate and help each other, amazing things may happen. And this is actually a great reminder. This time can help you practice this and also see the benefits even faster. Next, we will talk about eclipses. Eclipses are happening during April, May, and then the end of the year, October, November, and they are emphasizing the influence of the lunar nodes. So we already said that the lunar nodes are quite important for you. They are in your 1st and 7th house. So it's about finding the balance between your desires and the desires of your partner, between being an individualist and being a team player, and it's all about the balance. So the April eclipse is a solar one, and it will be especially important because it will activate the North Node in your 7th house. So a great time to focus on the future, to experience something new, to kind of like move forward. It can be like a door which is opening, and you can kind of like take a look towards the future in a way. Then the May eclipse is a lunar one, and it will trigger 1st, 7th house. So it's about finding the balance between your personal life and your relationship in a way. After that, the October eclipse is even more important because it will be in Scorpio, in your sign. And it will be about some kind of personal change. So letting go of something, healing the past, energetically opening the space. This eclipse is very, very transformational for you. And the last eclipse is during November, a lunar eclipse in 7th and 1st house, which can, again, require more balance, but also changing or transforming something related to your personal life and relationships. Whether you need to let someone go or you need to change the pattern in your relationships, that would be, it would depend on each person. But overall, this is a very important time to really focus on your personal life and relationships. Next, we will talk about Mercury retrograde. We have 3 of those cycles, plus 1 which begins at the very end of the year. So the first one is during January and the beginning of February. It will trigger your 4th and 3rd house. So you need to be more careful with home decisions, family relationships, and after that, general communication with other people. The second cycle is during May and the beginning of June. It will be in your 8th and 7th house, so you need to be more careful with financial decisions, investments, and also relationships and communication and partnerships. And the last Mercury retrograde cycle is during September through the beginning of October. It will trigger a deeper layers, like psychologically, emotionally, you may need to handle with some stuff, and also some social projects or group projects or friendship and connection with other people. Those are the things that you can explore, and you may need to readjust, but also you need to take it a little bit slower and give yourself more time. Next, we will talk about Saturn. Saturn is in Aquarius between the 12th and the 26th degree, and it's actually important to pay attention whether Saturn will square your sun or rising sign. If that's happening, those would be times when you need to be extra focused and concentrated. You might need to respect some kind of limitations or restrictions. Energetically, also, you may feel a little bit more drained or tired. So you need to give yourself more time, but also you need to focus on having more stability, especially on an inner level. Saturn transiting your 4th house can bring some responsibilities which are family related or related to your home, or do some property. So this could be an important area that you need to focus on. But at the same time, Saturn in 4th house could bring an opportunity to invest in properties, for example, or be really practical with your decisions. At home, things could be a little complicated, or sometimes we may feel lonely, or there could be some kind of distancing in the family environment. But again, that will be very personal, and it will depend on each person. Next, we will talk about Uranus. Uranus can be very important for you if your sun or rising sign is between 11th and 19th degree, plus minus 1-2 degrees. In this case, Uranus will make an opposition with your sun or rising sign, and those are big changes. Those are the times when you can transform things. It may feel quite shaky and stormy and uncertain and unpredictable, but at the same time, this is an opportunity for you to get rid of everything old, everything which is no longer necessary or no longer relevant to your life. But the truth is that sometimes, even when we have some of this baggage, we still don't want to let it go. And when Uranus comes, you just have to do it. And it's better if you're open for the change. So open for those personal changes and liberate yourself. Allow yourself to do new things, to take risks, to be open for something new. And of course, be open for changes in your relationship. For some people, this could be like a totally new scenario in their relationship. For others, it could be meeting someone new and exciting. And for another group of people, this could be a separation which is needed, or some kind of shock which you haven't expected in the area of relationships. So especially if your ascendant is in Scorpio and it's between 11th and 19th degree, then it means Uranus will cross the cusp of 7th house. So big shifts may occur in the area of relationships and partnerships. Next, we will talk about Neptune. Neptune is generally very friendly with your sign right now. It's in Pisces, in your 5th house, between 21st and 26th degree. So if your sun or rising sign is somewhere between those degrees, Neptune will be trining it. And this can help you to be more creative, more spontaneous, more emotional, also more creative and with, brighter imagination. So Neptune can be emotionally very activating you. Also, when it comes to love, you may fall in love or you may feel reconnected. Even for having a child, this can bring incredible, opening of the heart. So a great time to focus on the things that bring you joy, on creativity, and on entertainment as well. And finally, we will talk about Pluto, which is your ruler, one of your rulers, right next to Mars. And the truth is that Pluto is actually quite beneficial for you. It's in your 3rd house, so the mind could be very active and you can go deep and explore things and research and understand things on a very deep level. And especially if your sun or rising sign is between 26-29 degree plus minus 1-2 degrees, Pluto will have a sextile with the sun or the ascendant. So it can be even more beneficial and it can bring you very strong, powerful energy, lots of motivation and also concentration. So yeah, Pluto is your friend. And with that, we actually covered the most important astrology events. Thank you so much for joining me and have an amazing 2022. Don't forget to sign up for your free trial for MarStars membership. It will give you access to all of my courses, including the natal astrology course. So it includes everything you need to know about foundational astrology and how you can interpret signs, planets, and aspects and houses. So we have more than 50 hours of lessons here, which will teach you everything you need to know about natal astrology. We also have karmic astrology course, which is a pretty extensive one and will help you to do more advanced readings. On top of that, you also receive access to live webinars. Each month, we are having a special webinar on an astrology topic and another one which is a Q&A session. So you can come and ask all of the questions you have which are astrology related. You get access to all of the pre-recorded courses plus the future ones. And there are other surprises like monthly horoscopes. We have our community and also other spiritual courses and energy practices and much more in the future. So make sure to check the link below or go to MarStars.net and sign up for your free trial.